What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. We're on the deep freeze here in Virginia, just back from LA. And of course, a snowstorm outside, right? So you go from like 85 degrees or 80 degrees down to like fucking 20 degrees and snowing. Anyways, that's why I got the beanie on. I'm still fucking freezing my ass off. Even in the house, the fucking heat on, I'm still freezing my ass off. But anyways, today we're talking to you guys about something, and this is going to start some shit. I know it's going to, and it's not meant to offend anyone. It's not meant to pick on anyone or call anyone out. Okay, we're going to use some names tonight, and these names are specifically for examples and not to call these people out. There's nothing wrong with these people. Some of them I don't know, some of them I do know. I have nothing against these people, etc. But Jerry, what are we talking about? So when I first started training, there was very little ever talked about, like study-wise, science-wise. It just wasn't a talked about thing because we didn't have the internet. So to get these studies and stuff, you would have to go to, I guess, the library and get them. You'd have to have, write to different, or get the published journals and stuff like that of all the different types of science and studies that were out, not just like the specific one you wanted. So it wasn't like, people were out there seeking out science to learn how to lift weights, okay? And this way before, I think Mike Mentzer was the first one scientifically to really, him and Arthur Jones were scientifically on the same page about how muscle is built. Yet Mike Mentzer never became the best in the world. And there was plenty of other physiques out there that knew nothing about science that were just as good, if not better, than Mike's. Okay? Now, he's the first one that we're going to use for an example. So, what I'm getting at in this video is everyone out there who is, I want to say, paralyzed by science. And what I mean by that is there has to be a scientific study. And then if there is a scientific study, you have to follow it, because if you don't follow it, you're doing something wrong and you're not going to get gains and you're not going to lose fat and you're not going to get healthy and all this bullshit because a study said this, right? So you're paralyzed. You're trapped by that study, by that science, by those people talking about it, the people that are saying that this is how it has to be done. Meanwhile, people that are bro, okay, meaning they don't know anything about science whatsoever. They don't give a fuck. They go to the gym and they train hard. Why? Because that's what they do. They just go to the gym and they fucking train and they push themselves. And they may have worse genetics than these people that are following the people that are scientific. And they blow right past them gains-wise, muscle-wise. They beat them in competitions. They get leaner than them faster. They produce better physiques. They have more longevity in the sport than the people that are actually following this scientific trend. One of these guys is Layne Norton. Layne Norton has had plenty of injuries. Now, he's been training a long time, but plenty of injuries where there's a lot of other powerlifters out there that don't follow any of that scientific stuff whatsoever. They train instinctively, and they don't have the injuries, and their lifts are actually better than his. And Layne was a good bodybuilder. He did really well when he was bodybuilding, but he wasn't better than anyone else who was bro, right? So even though he had the scientific ways and all these scientific formulas, and he had all these studies and stuff, he didn't produce better results. He didn't produce faster results. Another one is Ben Pakulski. Ben actually called out Branch Warren. And I remember watching this. He was saying that I don't remember what the exact words were. He was basically saying he was going to beat Branch Warren. I believe it was at the Olympia. I don't think it was the Arnold. It might have been the Arnold. But at the press conference one of these years, he was talking all kinds of shit. Now, Ben is a big scientific guy. They hook up electrodes and stuff. They run all these studies and fucking, he's all about science is science that. Not only did Branch Warren beat Ben Pakulski, training like a bro. Branch, there's nothing scientific about Branch's training whatsoever. He goes in the gym and he fucking pushes himself until he can't fucking do any more than he leaves. Then he eats and he fucking grows. I would say that genetics-wise, I'd say that Ben and Branch have similar genetics, not in the fact that they look similar, but they can both get big, they can both get lean, both have some body parts that are not proportioned, both have a similar type of kind of, I don't want to say placings because Branch is placed a lot higher than Ben, right? But Ben has all the science, right? So Ben should be able to grow faster, become better than Branch because their genetics are kind of the same and they're both loaded on drugs. So it's not a drug thing. And we know that Branch always did better than Ben. However, if you really stop and think about it, people that are getting involved in the sport, in fitness, in health and stuff in general, they're always looking for studies, right? Well, you are being held back by following the science. History tells us that everyone who does the best or better than other people are doing it not using scientific studies, not using science, not knowing anything about science. Literally just going out there and training. Like I've actually watched people in the gym And they go in there and they say, well, I read this study, and the study said that there's on the fourth set with this volume times blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm watching these guys train. And I'm like, that's not even, like, it's not even what you're doing in the gym. You're not even training hard enough to grow. Meanwhile, there's a kid who walks in the gym who knows nothing about science. And he goes, well, last week I did 225 on the bench. So I'm going to try 235 this week. And I'll see where that goes. Oh, I did 235. Well, it feels pretty light. So let me go 245. Wow, let me really just try to do 275 this week. And he does it. He had no scientific backing. He went in there, did it all by instinct, all by feel. That fucking guy is getting stronger. That guy is getting bigger. That guy is getting leaner. That guy is progressing better and faster, knowing nothing about science. Matter of fact, all of my friends when I was younger knew nothing about science. These guys grew faster, had better physiques, got leaner faster than all of these guys nowadays. All of them. If you sit there and ask the last 5 Mr. Olympias, scientifically, can you explain how you got to become Mr. Olympia? Not one of them can do it. Now, granted, they are the genetic elite, but so is everybody in the goddamn Olympia, right? And some of those guys are scientific guys that are in the Olympia. They use all the new scientific, information that's out there, new training techniques, new this, new that, all this, like, oh, we read a study about this, and it showed that this hypertrophy occurred in 14% of the population, and then I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they're overthinking things so much, and there's so much information now, that people have lost track of the one thing that has nothing to do with science, and that's hard fucking work. People are trying to use science now, studies, scientific research, to not work as hard. They're trying to find a shortcut. They're trying to find a faster way than what these bros have been doing all along. These bros go in the gym, and they plug away, and they fucking eat their meals, and they push their weights, and it takes year after year after year. And what happens now is people pop up with these scientific studies, which is great. Okay, it's cool to understand how the body works. It's cool to understand what chemical reactions happen. It's cool stuff. I'm interested in it too. But I also know if I don't know any of that shit or never heard of it, I'm still going to be able to progress. I'm still going to be able to do just what I'm doing now. Matter of fact, it's not going to take me any longer because I don't know it. Matter of fact, it took me less time not knowing that shit. Nowadays, I know a lot more scientifically, and I'm not a science guy. But even I get confused. I'm like, well, this thing's supposed to be fucking better, but I do this with my clients, and this fucking works 10 times better. And then what you do is you actually take some of that new information, and you try applying it. You're like, well, this is not working out the way that this scientific fucking literature says it's supposed to. But if I go back to doing what I was doing here, I get better results. So now I sit back and go, okay, because people don't want to waste time. That's a big thing, wasting time. Like, well, Jerry, I read this, and this. What do you think I should do? I don't want to waste time. Like, are you even in the gym training yet? Like, no. Like, so let me get this straight. You're spending so much time looking at all these fucking studies. How long have you been doing this? Well, I've really been thinking about getting into it for the last couple of years. If you had never read a single study and got your ass in the gym 2 years ago, you'd be so much further ahead. You might actually be on stage already now whooping people's asses. Instead, you're trying to find the ultimate key to what all of this shit is. And the thing is, here's the thing, guys, and you're not going to like hearing this. I'm going to give you the secret right now. I'm going to give you the biggest key, the biggest secret to bodybuilding. There are so many fucking variables that you don't understand, and science doesn't understand how they work together, that there's no fucking single formula, scientific study, way that fucking anyone out there can explain it to you. There's too much to fucking understand, period. And the fact that your genetics are so different than the next person means that some of those scientific studies that you're fucking following may have worked on certain, they don't tell you that, okay, there's 50 people, and out of those 50 people, 47 of them got results with this. Guess what? There's still 3 people that didn't. You could be one of those fucking 3. Matter of fact, and I don't have any proof for it, I have 0 proof, but 9 out of 10 times when I start talking to people about the scientific stuff, every single one of them has slow gains, slow fat loss. They don't train as hard. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? It seems like science, when it was injected into the fitness industry, bodybuilding, health, whatever you want to call it, slowed down progress. It slowed down results. It paralyzed people, like paralysis by analysis. They start analyzing everything, and they now don't even get what the fucking people before this, any of the science shit came out, the scientific shit that came out, they aren't even getting the results that they back in the day. Like, this is 2019. We should be getting so much better results, but we're not. People are not getting as good results they did in the 90s. People worked harder in the 90s. People knew less in the 90s. And in bodybuilding, I'm sorry, this is just how it is, whether you like it or not. It's a physical fucking thing. You go in the gym, and mentally you have to make your body, so it's a mental and physical thing, but it is not a scientific thing that's happening in the fucking gym. As much as well, Jerry, biology, I understand that, but it's not a scientific thing. You cannot get all the science out there to create a physique that is going to beat everyone else because they use scientific principles. However, there is a guy out there right now who knows nothing about fucking science, who's literally living fucking way the fuck out where nobody knows him. And like Alexander Fedorov was a good example. The guy used to train in a fucking crypt in a cemetery. They had weights in a fucking crypt in a cemetery in Russia, and that's where he used to fucking train. He knew nothing about science whatsoever. They literally were in there fucking lifting weights in the freezing fucking cold in a crypt. That motherfucker came out and rivaled Ronnie and Jay and all these other motherfuckers. Didn't know shit about science. Matter of fact, I tell you right now, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, fucking Lee Haney, all of these guys, fucking none of them used fucking science whatsoever to get to where they were. They went in the gym and they fucking busted their asses, and they learned as they went, and they adapted and they changed things as they learned more about themselves. Nowadays, because everybody has to have all their information on their phone, like I haven't seen a single person fucking honestly walk in the gym not fuck with their phone in between sets. And I'm like, there's no way. I don't give a fuck who you are, how hard you think you train, or how badass you think you are. If you have that phone in your fucking hand, you are breaking your concentration. And I'm telling you right fucking now, I can take you in the gym, take your phone away from you, put you through a workout, you won't get through it. You will not be able to make it through it. I do it all the fucking time in the gym. Happens all the time. I train this, I'm hardcore this, I fucking squat this. You take them, fucking leave the phone up there, you fucking take their rest periods and you fucking track their rest periods, you fucking make them fail, and those motherfuckers can't get through a single fucking workout. And I'm like, this is why you're not growing. You've hired 4 other coaches, you haven't attained your goal because you're not fucking focusing. You are not concentrating. You are not in the gym putting what you need to in the fucking gym. Like you're taking 23 hours outside of the gym to try to figure out what to do for that 1 hour, when literally you could walk in the gym for that hour, push yourself until you can't fucking go anymore, get out, feed yourself. And I'm not talking about fucking feeding yourself all kinds of gummy bears and bullshit. I'm talking about feeding yourself lots of good fucking food after training hard as fuck. Chicken, eggs, not even knowing what the fuck you're taking in macro-wise. And you will blow these motherfuckers away sitting here figuring out their macros and formulas, sitting there fucking reading the newest studies to find out why each fiber has a fucking contractile in it. You will fucking blow these motherfuckers away if you go and train hard and not even know a fucking thing about science. So it frustrates the shit out of me because do I think science has a place in bodybuilding? Absolutely. It's interesting. It's good to know. But I've yet to see one fucking trainer or one competitor who was scientifically based or was a fucking doctor or scientist or whatever, blow everybody away because they used science to be better than everyone else. That's how that's supposed to work, you know. If you have something that tells you exactly how the human body works, top to bottom, okay, because that information is out there, right? All the biology books, the biochemistry, chemistry, all of that stuff is out there, right? And you can take all of that stuff, try to figure it out, and you still will not figure it out. It doesn't exist. Everybody's body is so individual. So if you're there right now, you're one of these people that are reading the studies, read them, but do not let those studies seep into your fucking brain and make you think you have a leg up on anyone else. Because I'm telling you right now, every study you read, every fucking article you read, every fucking everything, all the data, there's someone next to you at the gym right now out working your ass. That motherfucker is kicking your fucking ass. He's getting gains. He's getting ripped. He's fucking going to beat you in a competition. Even your girl is looking at that motherfucker right now. While you're sitting there going, I got to see what the new Journal of Medicine says. Are you fucking kidding me? History dictates. Science or knowledge of science in this fucking industry, as far as being a competitor, doesn't mean shit. As a matter of fact, the history dictates the more science you know about as a competitor, the less effective your workouts are. That's a pretty fucked up thing when you think about it. And history dictates that the more that you know about science, the less results you get. You start talking about, well, it's good if you lose 2 pounds a week. You don't lose 2 pounds a week. You lose 2 pounds here, you lose 1 pound the next week, maybe you lose 2 pounds the next week it's just 1. You don't lose 2 pounds a week. Like you're scientifically, they're telling you 2 pounds is the best because that's what these studies have said. 1.5 to 2 pounds. Well, what if you can lose 4 pounds the first couple of weeks? What if the first 2 weeks you can lose 4 pounds of fat? You don't want to do that because science tells you can't? Well, I got news for you. The guy next to you in the gym doesn't know about science. And he lost 8 pounds of fucking fat in 2 weeks and did it because he didn't know that he couldn't do it. So my advice to you guys, if you're reading articles and stuff, take them with a grain of salt. You like the stuff, it's interesting to you, it's entertaining, whatever the fuck, cool, that's your thing. When you walk in that gym, the mindset's not a scientist. The mindset's not a fucking doctor. You walk in that gym, the mindset is a fucking warrior trying to get done what they need to do before they get out of the fucking gym. And I don't mean lifting weights makes you a warrior. I mean tapping into here, Not fucking quitting when you want to quit. When it fucking hurts, pushing through the pain. When you think you're going to tear something, doing fucking resting and doing another set. That shit is what gets results, and that's why those motherfuckers got results faster, and that's why I have been able to replicate shit over and over again without knowing a fucking thing about science. People all the time tell me what I do can't be done. It is documented here on YouTube. Things that I have done here on YouTube, science says can't be done. I do things with my clients every single fucking day that science says can't be done. Yet we do it every day, literally over and over again, and can replicate it time after time. We do it over and over again. Therefore, if there's never a paper out or data or a study, does all of that go by the wayside? All my clients, their gains just disappear because there's no paper that says it's fucking real? Does all their effort, does all their fucking physiques, does everything they've accomplished just fucking go away because there wasn't a study that says it's done? No. All of their shit fucking sticks. It stays. All of my shit sticks. It stays. That's how it fucking works. But if you're sitting there being crippled by the fact that, well, you know, I don't want to make a, you know, really push myself until I understand everything about it, you're never going to attain that fucking goal because you're never going to understand. There'll be another study that comes out that fucking contradicts the last one that you read, which is going to confuse you more. And you're going to fucking try to think, well, maybe I should do this. And when that's not working, you have to go back to this rather than go in the fucking gym. Say, I'm starting here. I'm going to bust my fucking ass. I'm going to see what the fuck happens for 8 weeks. And as this fucking thing happens, I'm going to record it. I'm going to record what's happening to me. I'm going to be my own fucking study. I'm going to be my own experiment. I'm going to do my own research on myself. That is how you get results. That is how you fucking blow past all these motherfuckers sitting there watching you with their fucking phones out, tracking everything in their fucking phones, reading studies in between fucking sets. Actually, they're just talking on Instagram. But bottom line is, guys, you don't need to know a whole lot of information to go in the fucking gym and start training. Okay? If you need to hire a trainer to learn the exercises, that's one thing. But you don't need to know all the fucking scientific data behind every single fucking thing that is in these studies that doesn't fucking matter anyways. If these fucking pros, these top guys who have fucking PhDs and shit can't apply it and make it work, what makes you think you will? BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStrength.com is a blog. It's the bullshit bicep, and we are out.